Welcome you all for Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. This video session number 2 is a continuation of video session number 1 of Engineering Mechanics and Strength of Material course for 3rd semester of Civil Engineering Department. This video session is a continuation of Unit 1 Introduction to Engineering Mechanics. Let's move on to next slide. The table of content. These are the following topics which are to be discussed. Recap of previous sessions, where in the previous sessions we have discussed engineering mechanics, what is engineering mechanics and its branches, and where does the strength of material lies in engineering mechanics, and why strength of material is required, why we have to study strength of material. And we have discussed force, what is force and its characteristics, effects of forces, and unit of force. And we have also discussed the force system flow diagram. If you have missed that session, please watch the previous video session number 1 of this unit. In recap of last slide, we have discussed the force system, different types of force systems. Now also we'll continue the force system and its classification. And next, the composition of force, system and its classification, composition of forces, resolving of forces, and simple problems on resolving of forces, resultant of forces, and to assess the above topic, some multiple choice questions. Let's move on to next slide. Force system. What is force system? The combination of two or more forces are called force system. Two or more force on an object or on a body constitute a system of forces, or a force system, simply called force system. The classification of force systems according to the plane and line of action. We have discussed this in last slide. And force is classified into two: coplanar forces and non-coplanar forces. In coplanar forces, which lies on the same plane; non-coplanar forces, which lies in two different planes. And in coplanar forces, it is further classified into another 4 forces: collinear forces, concurrent forces, non-concurrent forces, parallel forces. What is collinear forces? Collinear forces which lies in the same line of action, and concurrent forces which lies in the same point of application. Non-concurrent forces are opposite of concurrent forces, which does not lie on the same point of application. Parallel forces are forces which are parallel to each other. And further, the parallel forces are classified into 2 types. One is like parallel forces and unlike forces. In parallel forces, like parallel forces have same direction, and unlike parallel forces are in different direction. Next, in non-coplanar forces, it is classified into concurrent forces, non-concurrent forces, and parallel forces, which can be called as non-coplanar concurrent forces, non-coplanar non-concurrent forces, or non-coplanar parallel forces. Similarly, here because the same both the classification are slightly similar, so here every forces are called by the latter name. The coplanar forces here: coplanar collinear forces, coplanar concurrent forces, coplanar non-concurrent forces, and coplanar parallel forces. Because here coplanar parallel forces are also there, or non-coplanar parallel forces also there. That's why we have to add the prefix so that coplanar or non-coplanar, which type we have to identify it clearly. Here in concurrent forces, non-coplanar concurrent forces, non-coplanar non-concurrent forces, non-coplanar parallel forces. Let's move on to next slide. Let's learn all the forces one by one. Coplanar force system. As I earlier said, the coplanar force system, where the number of forces lie on same plane. Same plane is called coplanar forces. Let us understand with illustration. XY, this is X plane, the XY plane, X axis and Y axis, XY plane, and let us assume that here is Z axis. In this XY plane, coplanar forces are forces which lie in the same plane. Whichever forces which lies in the same plane is coplanar forces. All these forces are same plane. Any other forces which is lying on other plane, it is not called as coplanar forces. It is called as non-coplanar forces. This force and this force is called as, and if you go together, it is called as non-coplanar forces. Here in this XY plane, whichever forces are in the XY plane, all these forces are called coplanar forces. Okay. Coplanar force system. It consists of force which lies line of action in the same plane, which have all the forces line of action will be on the single plane. Next, here the F1 forces, F2 force, F3 force are in the XY plane, are in single XY plane. That's why the F1, F2, F3 are all these forces systems are called these are coplanar force systems. For better understanding, let us go for the application part, where stress are loaded and there is some reactions here, and all these forces or load or reactions are a kind of forces. These forces are in a single plane. All the forces are in a single plane. That's why it's called, all these forces are coplanar forces. All these forces are coplanar forces. Coplanar force system. Let's move on to the next slide. Non-coplanar force system is the opposite of coplanar force system, where in coplanar force system, the force system, all the line of action of the force lies in same plane. Here the line of action of the force lies on different planes, two different planes. The non-coplanar force system, the phase force are three-dimensional force system, where it cannot be showed in the two-dimensional view. Where like a non-coplanar forces. In non-coplanar forces, it should be illustrated as three-dimensional forces, as in the figure here below. Non-coplanar forces, like F1 is in the plane which is parallel to XY plane here, which is parallel to XY plane, and F2 is in Y's XZ plane. This one is Y plane, and here X plane, where XY plane parallel to the XY plane. Here one more plane is there, which is F1 force is on that, which is F1 force on that, and F2 force is on XY plane, XZ plane. Therefore, both are in different planes. It is called as non-coplanar force. Non-coplanar force. As I explained earlier, coplanar force system and non-coplanar force system in three-dimensional view. Coplanar force system which lies in two forces lies in same plane, or another force which is lying here or here. These are coplanar forces, but when we compare force in this plane and this plane, it is non-coplanar force system. Let us understand by application part. Here, the horizontal force on the building, which may be earthquake or any other forces, which in the vertical load on the forces, both are in different planes. If we consider this as one plane, this portion as one plane, and if you consider this as one plane, this slab portion is as one plane, it is in different planes. Both are in different planes. These both are non-coplanar forces. Non-coplanar forces. These two forces which are in red color are non-coplanar forces, which is acting on the building. Thank you. Concurrent force system. Concurrent force system lies under both coplanar and non-coplanar force. Concurrent force system, let us understand what is concurrent force system. Concurrent force system is a force whose line of action intersects at single point. Single point. All the line of action or force which lies on single point or starts from the single point or ends from the single point. Such forces are called concurrent force system. Concurrent forces are in both coplanar and non-coplanar force system. But when it is in the coplanar, it is called coplanar concurrent force. When it is in non-coplanar, it is called non-coplanar concurrent force system. Coplanar forces, coplanar concurrent force system. Here we are showing the figure coplanar concurrent force system, where all the F1, F2, F3, all three forces are in same plane, single plane. They are all in single plane. F1, F2, and F3 are all three in single plane. So it is called coplanar forces, and all the forces line of action starts from the single point. Whose line of action intersect at the single point. All F2, F3, F1 are intersecting at single point. That's why it is called as, and since it is also a coplanar force, so it is called as coplanar concurrent force. Next, the example: the pin is stringed and it is tied here in different directions, but all the force F1, F2, F3 in this figure is on same plane, XY plane, but the force also intersect at a single point, or it starts from the single point at the origin of the XY plane. So it is called as coplanar concurrent forces. Let's move to the next slide. Next, non-concurrent force system. Here we are discussing a coplanar non-concurrent force system. First, we'll know what is non-concurrent force system. The force line of action, whose line of action does not intersect at single point. So it does not start from the single point or ends the single point, as in case of concurrent force system, all the forces will not be intersecting will be intersecting at different points. Let us see the example. So in XY plane, all the force systems are in XY plane. That's why it is called coplanar forces. All forces F1, F2, F3, and F4 are in single plane, XY plane. So it is coplanar force system. And all the forces whose line of action will not intersect. All the forces are in different point. They are starting, or they have different line of action, and they doesn't meet on single point. Such forces are called non-concurrent forces. Since it is in the single plane, it can be called as coplanar non-concurrent force system. In next example, here the plate where the force is applied on the plate are different, will not intersect by each other. Then it will start in line whose line of action does not intersect at a single point. That's why this is the example of coplanar non-concurrent force system. Next, collinear force system, where all the forces lie on the same line, whose collinear to all the forces will be collinear in the line which act on the same straight line, The force which acts along the same straight line is called collinear force system. Since it is possible only in the case of coplanar system, it can be also called as coplanar collinear force system. Here in the figure XY, all F1, F2, F3 forces are in XY plane, which is in single plane, so it is called coplanar forces. It comes under the coplanar force system, coplanar forces. And F1, F2, F3 are in single line, are in straight line. They are collinear to each other, so it is called as collinear force system. Examples here: tug of war. In the game of tug of war, every person will stretch the rope, and each one will exert the pressure. Each one will exert the pressure, or each one will exert the forces. So this is the example for which is in the straight line. It is example for collinear force system. This coplanar parallel force system. Where in coplanar parallel force system, as I explained earlier, coplanar parallel force system, coplanar parallel force system, in XY plane, or when two forces are in straight line or in parallel to each other, it is called as parallel forces. And since both the forces are on the same plane, XY plane, it is called as parallel forces. When one more parallel force, I will draw here one more parallel force which is in opposite direction of other two forces, opposite direction of other two forces. But this force, it is also parallel forces, but in different direction. All these forces are called as parallel forces. But when we compare these first two forces, I'll name it force F1 and F2 and F3. When we compare the two forces F1 and F2, these two forces are called parallel forces which have same direction. That's why it's called like parallel forces. The F2 and F3 are opposite in direction, which is moving. F2 is moving upward and F3 is moving downward. Both have different directions, but it is parallel. Such parallel forces are called unlike parallel forces. The coplanar parallel force system consists of force which have parallel line of action, but all the forces act in the same direction. Such force system are called parallel force system. In figure, in the below figure, the F1 and F3 are like parallel forces. If the force do not act in the same direction, it is called unlike parallel forces. In the figure, F1 and F2 are unlike parallel forces. Here F1 and F3, which is moving in right direction, F1 and F3 moving in right direction. These two are like parallel forces. Again, if we compare F2 and F1, F1 is moving in right side, F3 is moving in left side. These two forces are called F1 and F2 are unlike parallel forces. Next, here the example, all the forces are swing. If we consider the swing, all the threads which is holding the swing are parallel forces. Next, the under the non-coplanar force systems. First one is the non-coplanar parallel force system. First we'll discuss non-coplanar parallel force system. Whose parallel line of action, all two or more forces which has parallel line of action, but they lies in different plane. Like this, in this figure, where F2 is in XY plane and F1 is in XZ plane, where both are parallel, both are having the parallel line of action, but they are lying in different planes. If in case the force which is lying in this direction or this direction, which is parallel to F2, these forces are called coplanar parallel force system. But in this case, these two forces are called non-coplanar parallel force system, because it is lying in two different planes. Next, Here all the forces, if we take any two adjacent forces opposite each other, if consider F1 and F1 and F1 and F2 are in same plane, which is parallel forces, parallel to each other. In same way, if we take the force F3 or W, which are in different planes, F1 and F2 are in coplanar parallel force, but F2 and F3, or we compare F2 and W, or F2 and W, or F2 or F3, if we compare these forces, both these forces are in different planes with respect to F1 and F2. F1 and F2 are in one plane, and F3 is in different plane. So if we consider F1, F2 and compare with F3, it is non-coplanar parallel force system. Non-coplanar concurrent force system. We have studied the concurrent force system, coplanar concurrent force system. In coplanar concurrent force system, it lies in the same plane, but in all the point whose line of action lies on the starts on the same point or intersect in the same point. But in the non-coplanar force system, all the force intersect in same point, or a line of action intersect in single point, but there will be a all these forces will be in different planes. The planes doesn't all the planes are different. Let us show in an example. Suppose XY plane, XYZ in space in 3 dimension. The force which is intersecting here, force which is intersecting here, force which is intersecting here. All three forces are intersecting at a point of origin point O. But this force, F1 force, is in XY plane, F2 force is in XZ plane, and F3 force is in YZ plane. All the forces are in different planes, but all the forces whose point of application is from single point, or it intersect in a single point. Such type of forces are called concurrent forces, but it is in different plane, so it is called non-coplanar concurrent force system. As in the figure, as I showed the convergent type of a concurrent force system. Here it is divergent type of concurrent force system, where F1 is in ZY plane and F2 is in XY plane and F3 is in different plane, XZ plane. All the forces are in different planes, and but intersect or line of action or point of application is from single point. Here in this diagram, you can see all the points. If we consider this as one vertical plane, this portion as one vertical plane. This is, you see the string or a cable tied here, C, which is cable C, is in one plane, and cable B is in another plane, and cable D is in another plane. All intersect at A at top, which are the good example of non-coplanar concurrent force system. Next, we'll move on to composition of forces. We have studied the different types of force systems that we are classified with respect to the point of application and line of application. And now the composition of forces. In composition of forces, where two forces are combined together, composition of forces to form a single result. As in this figure, when two forces, composition of forces, when two forces are combined together to form a single force. When F1 and F2, it will form another force, which is call it as F1 and F2. These two forces combine together to form a force F. Here you can see in the figure two men are pulling the wagon in the track, but resultant or a force combination of two forces result in the movement of the force in one direction, movement of the wagon in one direction. What is composition of force? Composition of force is a process which two or more forces, not only two forces, it can be two or more forces, are combined together and replaced in a single force, which is also called the resultant force. With two or more forces, here two forces, one force is applied by this person and another force is applied by this person. These two forces which gives a combined effect which moves the wagoner into the direction of the track, where in the direction of the track. And so in two dimension, force acting in this direction, one of the person, let us call him as A and is B, A direction and B direction, the movement of the body will be in other direction, which is the combined effect of A and B, which is the combined effect of A and B. F is the combined composition of A and B. I will repeat once again, the process in which the two or more forces combine together and replace in a single force. Such processes are called resultant force. It is also called a resultant force. It produces the same effect as produced by the all other forces, where it produces the same effect which produced by the combination of other two other forces. The process of finding the single forces which will be having the same effect as the set of forces acting on the body is called composition of forces. The resultant in this process, single resultant forces is splitted into two, or a combination of two forces, and finding other two forces, or the same effect force joining the other two forces, combining the two forces to form one single force. Such forces are called, such phenomena process is called composition of forces. The resolving of forces. In resolving of forces, any single force can be split into two forces. It's the opposite of composition of forces, where a single force can be split into two. It can, as we saw in earlier slide, the composition of force, where two forces make a combining effect with two forces combine together and to form a single force. Same way, if two forces can be split into one forces can be split into two forces. One forces with force which can be split into two forces, that is horizontal force, vertical force, and horizontal force. I'll repeat once again. The single force which can be resolved or split into two forces, one as horizontal force and other as vertical force. Vertical force, this is horizontal force, which result in force. As per the definition of composition of force, the vertical force and horizontal force together result in single force, that is F, as per composition of force. Resolving of force is a process in which the force is replaced by two or more forces which together produce the same effect as the produced with the given forces. Then when force, here F is a force where it produces an effect where the body moves, but it can be resolved in other two forces also. One is horizontal component, other as a vertical component. These forces can be resolved into two forces. One is vertical component force, other one is horizontal component force. Same way here, what it is, the force which the resultant force which is in this direction, which can be resolved into two components. One is vertical component, other one is horizontal component. As per the above definition, the resolving of force is a process where the two or more forces, it is need not be two forces only, as I have given an example of two forces, but it can be more forces than two or more forces, which together produce the same effect as a given forces. The force are generally resolved into two mutually perpendicular forces like horizontal forces and vertical forces, as shown in the figure. The two forces, vertical forces and horizontal forces. This can be written as Fx or Fy also. In some textbook it is denoted as Fx and Fy. Here V is equal to Fy or horizontal force is equal to Fx. Don't get confused, it is same. The force is drawn at the origin, pointing away from the origin. Where force is drawn from the origin, it is pointing away from the origin. If the angle with the x-axis is known, if the angle is known, here in this portion, if the angle is known, theta, I'll assume it as theta, angle is known, then we can resolve the forces. We can resolve these two forces or split the two forces which produce the same effect of resultant forces. Like H and V forces can be resolved if the direction of the force makes an angle with the x-axis, or angle of the x-axis is known. If you know that angle with respect to the x-axis, both H and V will be the resolved forces. Same way in this figure, force F can be split into two, and it can be resolved if the theta with respect to the x-axis is known. Theta with respect to x-axis is known, then we can resolve this as a vertical force V and horizontal force this as horizontal force H. But further, it will be discussed in further slide also, where V equals to sine F sine theta, H equals to F cos theta. Right here once again, where V equals to F sine theta, where H is equal to F cos theta. It will be explained in future slides. Let's move on to the next slide. In this slide, we have to learn that the resolving of force. What is resolving force? It's a process where two or more forces combine together to produce a same effect of given forces, which we are splitting the forces. Resolving of forces. The resolution of force means to determine the component of the given forces. Component forces, horizontal component force in the sense the horizontal component or vertical component goes in two directions, same plane, which is splitting, also called as splitting of force, as I said earlier. Here F is a force. It's a given force which is making an angle theta with the horizontal. Here very important, we have whatever the force we are splitting, we need the angle with respect to x-axis, that is horizontal. Here V is the vertical component, which can the force F component force can be split into two. One is vertical component, other one is horizontal component. Now let us understand how to determine the horizontal component and vertical component. If F is a force, and if we write the force in a triangular law, according to the triangular law of force, vertical component here and horizontal component here, I'll write in here, horizontal component and vertical component in the way of triangle. This is force F. This is force F. This is force F. This is force F, and I have shifted this vertical component here so that it forms a triangle, and horizontal component as it is, and it gives a combined effect. These two forces gives a combined effect as in case of composition of force or resolving of force, which is equal to the force F. With these two forces, horizontal vertical component forces together gives a combined effect as same as the force equals to the F. Now let us learn how to determine the horizontal component and vertical component. As we have drawn it in a triangle here, this force is horizontal component H, here this force is vertical component V, and this force, this line indicates force F. To resolve these forces, we know the trigonometric formula where if we need vertical component, V equals to vertical component, V equals to, first I will write the formula. What is horizontal component, vertical component? I will erase all the, it will be easy to understand. First, what is sine theta? Sine theta equals to opposite side upon hypotenuse, and cos theta is equal to adjacent side upon hypotenuse. You all know this. Sine theta is equal to opposite side upon hypotenuse, and cos theta is equal to adjacent side upon hypotenuse. In this, as we have drawn in the case of triangle, I will draw once again. Force, this is horizontal component, and this here it will be vertical component, but I will write the vertical component here. This vertical component, this is horizontal component, and this is F. Now sine theta is equal to opposite side upon hypotenuse. Opposite side, what is opposite side? V equals to V upon F. V bar F. Opposite side is V and hypotenuse is F. Opposite side upon hypotenuse, V by F. Same way, cos theta is adjacent side of hypotenuse. Here adjacent side is H divided by F, which is hypotenuse. Now we have two equations. One is horizontal component is equal to two equations. Cos theta equals to, I'll write once again. We have two equations. Cos theta is equal to H horizontal component upon F force. Sin theta is equal to V upon F. Now this can be written as, this implies H equals to, where H equals to cross multiplication, F goes here, equals to F cos theta. If you don't understand the cross multiplication, A by B equals to C by D, where it can be written as A into D equals to C into B, where these two multiplies and go to the left, and BC multiplies and go to the right. This is cross multiplication. And here also same way, F cos theta by 1, we take cos theta by 1, there is no denominator here. F into cos theta, F goes here, F into cos theta, and 1 into H. That I have written it in reverse, H equals to F cos theta. Same way, vertical V is equal to F sin theta. We have two components. Now horizontal is f cos theta, vertical is f sin theta. I'll erase one. Now horizontal component is f cos theta and vertical component is f sin theta, which produce the magnitude of force depends upon vertical force. Vertical component depends upon the force and the angle with respect to x-axis. Even though it is a vertical component, it depends upon the angle with respect to horizontal axis. And horizontal component f cos theta, it also depends. Horizontal component depends upon the magnitude of the force and the angle with respect to x-axis. In both cases, theta is equal to angle with respect to x-axis, or theta is also called as, or simply I'll write in a simpler way, f sin, for vertical force is equal to f sin theta x. It can be written like this. Theta, this means theta with respect to x direction, or f equals, h equals to f cos theta. This is also with respect to x. Here please remember, both the angle what we are taking in the horizontal and vertical component are, the angle is always with respect to x. Okay, horizontal component is h cos theta and vertical component is f sin theta. Note that if the theta is with respect to x-axis, the known force magnitude f as shown in the figure, x and y are the component, or fx, and the horizontal component is also called as, as I said earlier, horizontal component is also called as fx. Also in some textbook it is written as fx, and fy, some textbook it is written as fy. Don't get confused. Here, for simplification of the problem, to understand it better, we have written here h as a horizontal component and v as a vertical component. Now, sign conventions of forces. The sign conventions of forces are bifurcated into the four quadrants. Let's understand like this. When we all know the numerical system of the axis, the x-axis is in right side, it is positive, 1 2 3 4 positive, and y-axis in left side is negative, and here right side positive and left side negative, and x-axis in the right side is positive, x-axis in the left side is negative. Same way, the y-axis upward is positive and y-axis downward negative. This is numerical systems. It comes in numerical systems. Now, when the horizontal component or vertical component we resolve in the case of any forces, we have learned in previous slide that the force is resolved into two components. Suppose the force what we resolve comes in first quadrant will be, y-axis will be moving upward direction and x-axis in right side, as in case of this. The force what we resolve, the force F is resolved here. Force F is resolved vertical component and horizontal component. Look at this figure, compare the figure. The force which is here is moving in right side direction, as in case here this is positive, here it is positive. The force will be in positive direction. If the force moving upwards, it will be in positive direction. This also will be in positive direction. positive direction. I'll repeat once again. The force which moves in the direction as in first quadrant, which is said to be in first quadrant. Then the component forces, horizontal component forces and vertical component will be like this. The horizontal component forces will be positive, as in case of numerical system. Positive will be positive because it is moving in right direction. Right direction moving positive, and the vertical component is moving in upward direction. Upward direction is positive, why upward is positive. The both in first quadrant, the horizontal component and vertical component are both positive. Horizontal component, vertical component are both positive. In second quadrant, let's move on to next quadrant. Second quadrant, as the arrow indicates, same. The force which is moving in upward direction is positive, as in numerical system, y-axis positive. But in force which is moving in left direction is negative, as in the case of second quadrant. Second quadrant force will be in this direction. When it is resolved, it will be, the vertical component will be in this upward direction, and horizontal component will be in left side horizontal, but left direction, where left direction is negative, and upward direction is positive. As a result, the force moving in left side, horizontal and moving in left side is negative. Force which is moving in upward is positive, as in second quadrant. Next, coming to third quadrant, force which is moving in left side is negative, and force which is moving in right downward direction is also negative, as y-axis also both are negative. Here also negative, and both are negative. In case of third quadrant force which is in this direction, it will be resolved into horizontal component and vertical component like this. The horizontal component moving in the left side direction, which is negative, and the vertical component which is moving downward direction, it is negative. So the horizontal force here is for negative, and vertical component also negative. Both are in negative. Okay. Next, coming to fourth quadrant, here force moving in downward direction is negative, and force moving in right side direction is positive, as in the same case positive. Here the force which is in fourth quadrant will be in this direction, and if we resolve the force into two perpendicular forces, then it will be vertical forces in moving in lower direction and downward direction, and horizontal force will be like this, moving in right side direction. The force which is moving in right side is positive, and force which is moving in downward is always negative. Then here force which is moving in right side is positive, and force which is moving in left side is negative. I'll repeat once again the quadrant 1, or you simply remember the force which is moving upward direction is positive, downward direction is negative. Force which is moving right side direction, horizontal, force which is horizontal and moving in right side direction is positive, and force which is moving in left side direction is negative. Upward positive, downward negative, right side positive, left side negative. Here the horizontal component and vertical component, here horizontal component, vertical component, both are positive. both are positive. So horizontal component, vertical component, both are positive, which is moving upward direction, right side direction. Both are positive. Moving in vertical component moving upward is positive, where horizontal component is right side direction, which is positive. Second quadrant, the force is resolved into two, which is moving. The vertical component is moving, is horizontal component is moving in positive direction, which is upward direction, and horizontal component is moving in left side direction, which is negative direction. Your vertical component is positive, horizontal component is negative. In third quadrant, the force moving in this direction, which is splitted into two, where force is resolved into two, where horizontal component is moving in left side direction and vertical force is moving in downward direction. Left side direction is negative and downward direction also negative. Here the vertical component and horizontal component are both negative. And here the force moving in this direction, it is split into two. The horizontal force is positive direction and is moving in right side, and vertical force is moving downwards, which is negative direction. That vertical and horizontal force, vertical force is negative, horizontal force is positive. I hope you understood. I'll arrange them up. Now, as I have written, the vertical first quadrant, our vertical component is positive and horizontal component is positive. Vertical component is positive and horizontal component is also positive. And in second quadrant, vertical component is positive and horizontal component negative. Vertical component is positive, vertical component is positive, and horizontal component is negative. In third quadrant, both are negative. In third quadrant, vertical component is negative, downward direction, or horizontal component is negative, which is left side direction. In fourth quadrant, vertical component negative, horizontal component positive. In fourth quadrant, the vertical component is moving downward direction, negative. Horizontal component is moving positive direction, which is right side. Positive direction, in the sense right side it is positive. Okay. Lastly, points to remember. Just remember this: the force which is moving on upward is positive, force which is moving downward is negative, force which is moving right side is positive, force which is moving in left side is negative. Let's move on to next slide. MCQ, multiple choice question. The concurrent force are those forces whose line of action are lying on same line, meet at one point, meet on different plane, none of these. Concurrent force are the force which meets or intersect, whose line of action intersect at same point. Line of action intersect, starts or meets at single point. Such forces are called concurrent forces. So here, lie on the same line? No. Actually, the force which lie on the same line is collinear forces. Meet at one point? Yeah, this is right. Meet on different plane? No. Concurrent forces are those forces whose line of action can meet the different forces when it is called non-concurrent, non-coplanar non-concurrent forces is possible. None of these. The answer is B. Yeah, B. Next, the force which meet at one point and the line of action also lie on the same plane are known as the force which meet at one point and their line of action also lie on same plane. We have discussed the coplanar concurrent forces, coplanar non-concurrent forces, non-coplanar concurrent forces, and non-coplanar non-concurrent forces. Here, the coplanar concurrent forces is force which is same plane and lies in line of action meet at one point. Here, coplanar non-concurrent force which does not lie on same which doesn't meet at one point. Non-coplanar concurrent forces, but here given same plane, non-coplanar force is not possible. Non-coplanar here, coplanar concurrent forces is the answer. Yes. Third, force which do not meet at one point and the line of action do not lie on same plane as known as options: the coplanar concurrent forces, coplanar non-concurrent forces, non-coplanar concurrent forces, none of these. Force which do not meet at one point and the line of action do not lie on same plane. Do not meet at one point. Concurrent force is not possible. It meets at one point. Non-coplanar concurrent force, again the concurrent force is not possible because it meets at one point. But here in question, do not meet at one point. It is do not meet at one point. Do not meet at one non-concurrent forces. Here the option non-concurrent forces is only here. That's why non-coplanar non-concurrent. Force which do not meet at one point and the line of action do not lie on same plane. Do not lie on same plane. It is also not possible. Coplanar means it will lie on same plane. It does not lie on same plane. And does not meet at one point. None of these. Coplanar concurrent force are those forces which meet at one point. Coplanar concurrent meet at one point and line of action do not lie on same plane. No, not possible. Coplanar force which will line of action will lie on same plane. Do not meet at one point and the line of action do not lie on same plane. Not possible. This is also not the answer. Meet at one point. Yeah, concurrent force meet at one point and the line of action also lie on the same plane. Yeah, lie on coplanar force. Coplanar concurrent forces. This is right. And do not meet at one point, but the line of action lie on. Not meet at one, but line of action lie on same plane. This is also not the answer. Answer is C. Non-coplanar concurrent forces are those forces which meet at which meet at one point, but the line of action do not lie on same plane. Line of action, but concurrent forces line of action lie on same line. Meet at one point. Yet meet at one point. Line of action do not lie on same plane. Yeah, this is the answer. This is the definition of non-coplanar concurrent forces. Do not meet at one point and the line of action do not lie on same plane. Do not meet at one point non-concurrent forces, but it will be in question it's given concurrent forces. Meet at one point and the line of action also lie on the same plane. Meet at one point concurrent forces. Line of action lie on same plane. Coplanar concurrent forces. This is the definition for coplanar concurrent forces. Next, do not meet at one point. Do not meet at one point non-concurrent forces, but here in question concurrent forces. Answer is meet at one point means concurrent forces and line of action do not lie on same plane, that is non-coplanar. It lies in different plane. Same, first one is the answer. Yeah. Sixth one, the forces whose line of action are parallel to each other and act in same direction. Same direction. Parallel forces act in same direction. Coplanar concurrent forces, no. Coplanar non-concurrent forces, no. Yeah, like forces, parallel forces which has same direction, like parallel forces. Seventh one, the three forces of 100 Newton, 200 Newton and 300 Newton have their line of action parallel to each other. It means 100, 200 and 300 are parallel forces to each other, but the act in opposite direction. These forces are known as, which acts in opposite direction. These forces are known as, the force which is parallel and acts opposite direction is unlike parallel forces. Unlike parallel. When the force of finding out the resultant force is called force of finding out the resultant force is called composition, resolution, dissolution and decomposition. Here we have studied the resolution which splits the force. Here from resultant force, process of finding out the forces, horizontal component, vertical component from resultant force. This is composition of force. Next, the horizontal component of force of 10 Newton moving in the northward direction makes an angle of 30 degree with north. 30 degree with north. Options 10, minus 5, minus 7.0, none of these. This means I'll draw the figure here. This is north, west, east, south. We know that it makes an angle with respect to north, with respect to north is 30 degree here. I'll draw figure a little bit bigger. North, south, east, west. Northwest direction is this direction, northwest direction. This is the force of 10 Newton given in the figure, given in the question, and makes an angle of 30 degree with north in the sense vertical, north 30 degree with north. North direction is y direction. It also called, we have learnt in this x-axis and y-axis. The horizontal component in this direction or vertical component in this direction, this will be, if we resolve this force, it will be, vertical force will be like this and horizontal force will be like this. This is H and V. We have learned the formula H equals to F cos theta, but theta is with respect to x direction. You should know that. You should not substitute directly 30 degree here because it is with respect to x direction. Please remember, with respect to x direction. The horizontal component, vertical component, we know vertical component is equal to F sin theta, is theta here also with respect to x direction. But in problem they have given theta with respect to y direction, 30 degree with respect to y direction. What is the angle with respect to x direction then? What is the angle with respect to x direction? Here, not, this is perpendicular direction, this is perpendicular 90 degree, and 90 minus 30 is equal to 60 degree. Then theta x will be in 60 direction. That means the theta which makes an force which makes an angle with respect to x is 60 degree. Therefore, substitute 10 Newton cos 60 degree. 10 Newton cos 60 is half. That's why half cancels and 5 equals to 5 Newton. In options, there is 5 kilo Newton is there, but negative direction. Yeah, this is very important. Where horizontal, again I'll draw another axis. Direction which is force which is in the direction opposite positive, upward positive, downward negative. But here the horizontal force, the force which is in direction is upward horizontal force and horizontal force in left side, vertical force is right side. But in question they have asked the horizontal component of the force, only horizontal component of the force. Horizontal component is negative, minus. That's why 5 minus 5 Newton, minus 5 Newton, minus 5 Newton is the right answer. I'll arrange all the calculation part. minus 5 Newton is the answer. Thank you. Thank you all. I want to acknowledge our team for this video session, and special thanks to Tejomurthy sir, Dr. Changiri Gowda sir, and Malingu Swami sir and MS Chandrasekhar sir for helping me or helping our team in creating this video in this video session. Thank you one and all.